Good morning, God bless. On the Spill with Spillman this morning, we will be reacting to Vivek Ramaswamy getting this great question. Would you consider Donald Trump for your vice president? Tune on in. The Spill with Spillman. Please like and subscribe and share. This clip is actually coming from Vivek Ramaswamy and his campaign trail. And this gentleman, I believe his name was Fox, we'll get into it. Ask Vivek Ramaswamy, would you consider Donald Trump as your vice president? Tune on in.
But we're going to take this game even further and revive the actual country. Thank you very much.
Sorry about the audio.
Would you consider Donald Trump as a vice president?
I would. I think he could be an excellent vice president. And I think it's a pretty good role in this country. It's actually is. I'd say I would take him as a top advisor and mentor. Certainly that first year in office during the transition, I'd like that. And you know what? If I were in his shoes, I think that'd be a pretty good bet too. He doesn't have to go through that hell again.
Pretty good gig.
I mean, it could be a pretty good gig. Let me do the work, and then actually, we'll take use some of that experience. So I think that's not a crazy idea. What's your name?
Gary.
What's your last name?
Fox.
Gary Fox, a good name.
Gary Fox.
Well, you know what? If that's what ends up happening, we're going to give Gary Fox the credit for it. Actually, the true answer to that question is absolutely. And the titles don't matter. It's a question of who's going to play the role of what moves this country forward to the next level. I think I've got to be leading from the front to really reach that next generation. So I'm going to play my part, and I'm going to ask Trump to play his. And so if he's the nominee, he'll have my full support. I expect to be the nominee, and I expect his full support as well.
One other quick thing. You have to be careful to answer this because of the media. Are you going to, on day one, are you going to be a dictator like Donald said he was going to be?
I'm going to be an executor.
He has charisma. He has charisma.
Not just an executor, but an executioner of the administration.
Quick on his feet.
That's what it's going to take. And so I'll just tell you this in closing, guys. Is we don't have to be that nation in decline. And we're taught to believe that. I don't think we have to be. We don't have to be ancient Rome.
Wow.
I think as a nation right now, we are actually a little young, if I may say so. Going through our own version of adolescence right now.
Makes sense.
Figuring out who we're going to be when we grow up. And when you view it that way, it all makes sense then, actually. You go through that adolescence, you go through that identity crisis. You lose your way a little bit, right? You do some stupid things. Most of us probably did. But we are stronger for it when we get to our adulthood on the other side. So no, I don't think we have to be that nation in decline.
Let's stop right there. I think to break down what he's saying, I don't want to try to speak to him or for him. He's definitely quick on his feet. He's definitely charismatic. He has a gift to listen to people and answer the question, which is something I don't see a lot of politicians doing, right? But to get to what he says, adolescence, right? America is technically a new country. She is a baby in her infant stage. Even with all the barbaric things that have happened in this land, all the great things that have happened in this land, America is a young country. And for that sake, what he's saying is that we still have a chance to turn the tide. Right now, there is a war going on. It's a war for your spiritual self. It's a debate and dialogue between candidates on different sides, some left, some right, some hopefully in the middle. We are living in a time in this country where we are fighting on the front lines to protect the unborn children, right? This is a time where we are not holding children responsible for certain conduct or certain things because they are minors, and our jurisprudence, our law, our legal system understands that. Our psychologists used to understand that. But we are allowing them, with the sources and outside pressure, to decide if they want to change their sex. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. We have lost our damn mind. We have lost our mind when we think Johnny, Jamal, Teresa, Kim, Khadijah, whatever your name may be, wherever you may live, that it's okay for them to want to change their sex. Not good. That's where we are. We are at a country now, as much as I am a human first, where we will take in people, right? Take in people from other countries and don't do anything for the veterans or our homeless population, right? So we're at a crossroads where we have to ask ourselves, what is the definition of being American? What is the definition of America? The war is real. Me being a person that loves people regardless. I think it's a Christian proverb that you hate the sinner. I'm sorry, I just jacked that up. You hate the sinner, right? You hate the sin, but you don't hate the sinner. Forgive me. You could tell I'll never be a preacher, right? But that's where we are. And as much as we'd like to sit back and watch, you have to ask yourself, are you for protecting the unborn babies? Or is murder of children okay? Right? You have to ask yourself these things. So let's get back into it. That's my view of us being a young country. 1776 is how many years ago? Right? You look at China, they've been around for 5,000 years and ongoing, the Indian civilization, so that's where we're at on that. Let's keep going.
I think we can still be a nation in our ascent. Maybe even the early stages of our ascent, actually. I'm not going to be the guy who walks in here and tells you it's morning in America, guys. I know it sounds good, but it's not. But it can be. I'm not going to tell you the American dream is alive and well. It's not. It's alive and it's hanging on for life support. But it can be. So if you all do your part on January 15th, and between now and January 15th, we got our team here. I love some precinct captains in this group. I can feel the energy in this room. You're all kind of people. Stand for this country. It's not Trump first, it's not Vivek first, it's America first. Okay, you guys come out as a precinct captain, volunteer for us, spread this message to 100 people who weren't in this room today. That's how we're going to shock the world on January 15th. 30 minutes of your time that night to save this country. You all do your part. I promise you, Apurva, my wife, and I, we're going to do ours to make sure, not in some cheesy politician kind of way, but just in a true way, make sure that our country's best days are actually still ahead of us.
Okay.
Thank you guys for coming out today.
Wow, I like that. Let me tell you why I like that. I'm a grandfather. I'm a father. I like that. I like to know that whatever ills we have, we're trying to rectify the situation. We're trying to get treatment. We're trying to get help, right? I like that. So that was in Iowa. And so what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about what he said, what he's doing, the campaign trail, and the question of it, would Donald Trump be a great vice president? The Donald Trump that I know maybe a great vice president and an advisor if he can humble himself. It's hard for people with egos, and Donald Trump has an ego. I, like Donald Trump, say what's on my mind unapologetically. Donald Trump ain't the only white man in America who says what he feels. There are multiple white men who speak the truth and who are not cowards, right? Donald Trump has an ego. Would he play that position? Probably not. Would he be great for him? I think so, if he can get out of his own way. Do you understand what that means, get out your own way? Sometimes we are in our own way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Spill with Spillman, where we give political commentary. Check out our reactions by Sean Spillman, where we react to music and such. Pay attention to Dads Are Dope, a podcast where we celebrate dads being dope and dads being in children's lives and how important the father is, the attack on masculinity, and how we must fight back. Also pay attention on Wednesdays. What we have is called White Wednesdays, where we celebrate white artists and give them their flowers for their gift that they have given the world. Also pay attention to our Thursdays, where we have Throwback Thursdays and Bring Black Thursdays back, where we give black artists their flowers and their thanks and appreciation for giving the world their gift and sharing it. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a blessed day.